Hey y'all, it's your girl Abby and I'm back with another video. Before we get into the video, I just want to give a big thank you to all 1,000 of you all because I officially have 1,000 subscribers and that's all because of you. 1,000 of you. Honestly, I'm gonna have this little sappy moment, okay? So just sit with it and just deal with it. It's a little sappy and I don't like to get sappy, but we're doing it today because there's 1,000 of you guys subscribed to my channel and I'm just so thankful. I just want to point out that I started posting videos 1 year ago, almost a year ago. It was last April, I think. And I didn't really have much expectations other than I'm just gonna put out these videos and see where they land with people. If they stick, then they stick. If they don't, then they don't. And I'm just so happy and grateful because apparently they sticked with 1,000 of y'all. And that's not a small number to me. That is not a small number. 1,000, baby, 1,000. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's just 10. There's 1,000 of y'all. There's this times what, 100? Yeah, 100? I don't know. So thank you for, you know, vibing with me and for sticking with me and actually clicking that subscribe button. Like, if you're subscribed, you're a real one. If you're not subscribed, go subscribe right now so you can be a real one. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, that's all I have to say. Thank you for listening to my rant. Let's get into the video. I'm thinking of kind of redecorating this room because I'm kind of cuckoo and I get bored of things really quickly. So like, I love it. Like, I love the room, the boho vibe and all of that. But now I'm like, I kind of want like a minimalist room. Like, I kind of want white walls, cute shelving. Like, you know what I mean? Maybe I'll put some pictures of like the vibe that I'm going for. Very minimalist, very clean, very like you could take a wiper and just wipe down. You know what I mean? Like, I love when you walk into a room and it's like, every little thing is just in its place and it's just like, okay, where do I go? Like, where should I nestle myself in? You know what I mean? So I'm kind of feeling like I want to do that with this room. What do you guys think? Do we like the boho vibe or are we feeling something more clean cut? Like, do we want to experiment and just, you know, switch it up a bit? Let me know. I think we should switch it up just a little poquito. Speaking of switching it up, I think some of us need to switch up our attitudes. I'm kidding. I didn't know how to transition into this, but basically I want to talk about humility. It's a word that we hear very often, but we don't actually apply it into our life, me included. Okay, I just want to say everything I talk about in these videos, me included, like, I'm low-key talking to myself, you know what I'm saying? So when I talk about humility, when I talk about pride and all these things that we need to work on, quote unquote, I'm also talking about myself. The only reason I can speak about it is because I can relate. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, humility. First of all, what does humility even mean? To be humble, right? When I think of the word humble, I think of meekness. I think of kind of putting yourself low or putting yourself down. And I think that general description or that general definition of humility is what turns people away from it. Because I guess in society today or like our culture today, it's all about hyping yourself up. I could do anything I put my mind to. I'm capable of everything. My success is already on the way. And it is. But be humble with it. You feel me? So that's the plot twist, I guess you could say. All of that is true. All of that is lovely. All of that is amazing. But also have humility in your spirit to know that whether it comes or not, you're good without it. You know what I mean? So first thing I want to say about humility is that having a humble spirit is one that isn't filled with pride. Now, blanket statement, obviously, duh, the opposite of humble is pride. And so obviously a humble spirit is one without pride. Yes, but did you really take it in? I love spelling out the definitions of words because they help us stay on the same page and really have a good conversation. So What is the definition of pride? To me, or my understanding of pride, is kind of like your ego. And the way that I describe ego is the story that we tell ourselves, right? And so we tell ourselves that we're beautiful. We tell ourselves that we are smart and we're capable of all these things. And when our pride and when our ego is in balance, it's healthy, it's sustainable, it allows us to walk into rooms and know that we are worthy to be in the room, right? It's checked. But when there's an imbalance and that pride starts going over, a little bit too much pride, then we start to get in a space of, I'm better than you, I can be more successful than you, I am greater, I am all these things that in actuality I am not, right? So it's that imbalance. A humble spirit is one with a balanced sense of self, right? And another thing to add into this is that, like, a humble spirit has no image to keep up. And I was really thinking about this in terms of, like, I guess you could say my content creation journey, like where I'm at now, where I'm posting regularly on Instagram and TikTok and socials and here on YouTube as you're watching. A lot of my hesitation towards posting was kind of because I had like a sense of pride. Like, who am I sitting in front of the camera? Like, I don't want to be sitting in front of the camera. I don't want to talk about these things that are like silly and a little bit corny. I'm too good for that. I'm too, you know what I mean? We kind of have a sense of pride. There's like an image that we have to keep up, right? I had this image of like, I am a pretty girl. I'm a model. I don't sit here and I don't talk about like spiritual things or like deep things, poetic things. That's not me, right? I felt like I had an image to keep up. Or like my other image was like, I'm more academic. Like, I'm a nurse. You know what I mean? I'm not creative. I'm not making videos. And so I was identifying myself with these titles or these boxes. I was putting myself in boxes, and you know, I had a sense of pride with those boxes. I'm a nurse. I'm a model. Like, hello, put some respect on my name, right? But when we eliminate that pride and we get down to, you know, we get down to bringing ourselves down, right? And bringing in a more what am I trying to say? Just basically being more humble. That image that we think we have to keep up starts to fade away. And when that image fades away, we find freedom, you know, and we're free to do whatever we want to do. We're free to explore. And that's how you really find yourself. That's how I have found so many different things about who I am, my personality and my interests. Like, it's been amazing. And so remember that a humble spirit has no image to keep up. And with no image to keep up comes freedom. And with freedom comes exploration. And with exploration comes the finding of self and knowledge and wisdom. And we're all seeking that. Second, humility allows your identity to match your reality. You see, because the thing about our identity is that it should never be based on what we can do or what we bring to the table. Our identity, meaning who we are, should be based off of our character and our heart. And so when we are humble, it allows who we are to match our reality. We're in balance. We aren't trying to overcompensate for what we feel we lack or vice versa. We're in balance. And so who we are, right? Sometimes, let me tell you something. Sometimes our pride really be steering us to the left and to the right, just squiggling. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes our pride really will put us in a room where it's like, baby, honey, sweetheart, like, you might have to just sit down a little bit. Like, you might have to be in the back. You might have to just be in the class and listening to the teacher. You know what I'm saying? Like, you trying to be the teacher, you might have to just sit down and take some notes. It's okay. Be humble. Take those notes, because guess what? Those notes are going to help you one day become the teacher in whatever domain, you know, not literally a class, but whatever domain you're in. Sometimes you have to be the student. Sometimes you really have to sit there and say, aha, I'm not the teacher yet. I'm not the master yet. I'm still in my phase of taking notes, right? And so when we're humble, it allows who we actually are, right? Sometimes we're in a phase of being a student. Sometimes we're in a phase of learning, soaking in, right? But with our humble spirit, it allows us to actually sit in that room and say, okay, I'm aware that right now in this phase of life, I'm a student, and there's no shame in that. Everyone is a student at one point, right? But when you're filled with pride, sometimes you're not able to accept that reality, right? It's like, I ain't no student. I'm the master. I am too good to be a student, you know? And what actually happens in those moments is you actually end up cheating yourself. You actually end up doing yourself a disservice, because it's like you never actually fill yourself with what you need to be filled with. You never actually learn the skills or the knowledge that you need to one day become the master. And so you think that, you know, your pride is protecting you, but really it's just digging you deeper into a hole. And so be humble, because it allows your reality to match with your identity. You feel me? The last thing I want to mention about humility is this verse, okay? I'm going to read it to y'all because I think it's very important and it has helped me in many different ways. Okay, Luke 14:11. For those who exalt themselves will be humbled, and those who humble themselves will be exalted. Now, the first time I read this verse, I said, huh? What does exalted mean? Let me tell you, me in words, I think I'm low-key, like, y'all, this is a little secret. I think I'm low-key dyslexic. Like, I don't know how to spell. Anyone who knows me, don't ask me to write something, or ask me to write something, but just know you're going to have to read around the lines, because me and the letters, it's just mix and mix. Just, right? And when it comes to like definitions and like the meaning of words, I get really like anal on it, because I'm like, what does that mean though? Like, I don't understand. Like, I get it like I get the gist, but what does it mean, right? So what does exalted mean? So I Googled it, and it says, so for someone to be okay, exalt means praise, right? And so the verse says, for those who exalt themselves, let's sub in the word, for those who praise themselves, they will be humbled. For those who humble themselves, they will be exalted. They will be praised. And I just want to point out how that is like a perfect circle that just went, just started from here, ended here. You know what I'm saying? The whole analogy of like being a student, being a teacher, knowing when to be a student, knowing when to be a teacher, right? If you humble yourself, you will be praised. Eventually, right? The one that is in class and is taking notes. Next paper. You know, is thorough, listening, has no shame to say, I don't know. Sir, miss, what does that mean? You said this and this and this. I didn't understand it. Can you explain? That takes a humble spirit to raise the hand and ask a question, right? The one that does that is filling themselves with so much knowledge and so much wisdom and everything that they need to one day be in a position to be the teacher or be whatever it is that knowledge is filling you with, right? Wherever that's going to take you. But it requires a humble spirit to be filled. Does this make sense? I feel like I'm ringing around the rosy right now, but I hope it makes sense. So anyways, I'm going to read it one more time because I really love this verse. For those who exalt, praise themselves will be humbled, and those who humble themselves will be exalted or praised. That's a very powerful verse, and it's one that like, it took my perspective and it went, you know, I was like, oh shoot, I gotta be humble. Oh shoot, I gotta sit down. You know, Kendrick Lamar, sit down, be humble. But anyways, okay, I hope this made sense. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to my silliness. And I hope you guys have a blessed day. Like, once again, thank you for watching this video. If you are a part of the 1,000 that is subscribed, hugs and kisses, X and O's to you. If you are watching this and you're not subscribed, baby, just hit the subscribe button. Just do it. Be a part of the family. Okay? Thank you very much. I will see you guys in another video. Comment your thoughts below. And yeah, bye.